Hey, welcome to Sunday. Well, this country's really screwed up now. We have some complete nutjob committing suicide on Christmas morning with a massive bomb. I mean, okay, maybe he wanted to blow up the AT&T building or something in the area or whatever. Maybe he was just pissed off in general. But he risked killing a lot of people. You know, I mean, thank God the cops reacted the way they did. That they didn't for a second hesitate. They went in and started getting the people out of the area. Otherwise, some people could have died, besides him. And I don't know if they'll ever identify this guy. Apparently, they just find pieces of tissue, so they assume he was in the truck. Just like they assumed it was intentional. You don't use that much of an explosive for setting off a 4th of July display. And then, what was it, last night, the fat prick in the White House didn't sign the COVID bill because he wants to make it $2,000 per person, which, okay, I agree that's probably a good idea and everything, but you have to look at things from a long point of view. How are they going to pay that back? You know, what he's trying to do is set it up so that we can't save Social Security. That's what he really wants to do. He wants to destroy Social Security. Remember now that suspension of the payroll tax stops in January. I'm not sure exactly when it stops in January, but it stops in January. And that means that it has to be paid back from someplace. I don't know where we're getting the money to do the things we're doing, you know. I do know that I disagree wholeheartedly with the money for the music venues, those live music venues, since most of them derive income from other sources. If you're talking about you're going to give it to Shirley's bar on Fifth Avenue that plays live blues music or something like that, then fine. Okay, great. I'm all for that. But if you're going to give it to Giant Stadium, no, screw them. They get enough money out of football and everything else they do. So they don't need any money from us. I don't know all that much about the Article 230 and the defense bill that he vetoed, but that's threatening to shut down the government. He's making the last weeks of his administration a struggle for his party and for the Democratic Party to survive. Whatever they do, somebody's going to say they didn't do enough. They did too much, it was wrong, they shouldn't have done this. And what happens is that Trumpster leaves the country in the same condition he's left every job or business he's ever been involved in complete chaos and ruin. This is his modus operandi, if you will. He has no empathy for anybody. He's playing golf. He's not even he couldn't have a concern in the world. He doesn't care. I want to see, they say he's going to buy whether it was a radio or TV station or something that's one of these radical stations that he can own it or buy into and or even beyond, just so he can create some more havoc and has an audience after he leaves office. Well, if he's going to buy it, I'd sure wish to know where he's getting the money from, since he owes $488 million. That's a lot of money from John. That's a lot of money for Bill Gates to owe, Or maybe not. Maybe it's just his American Express bill. But anyhow, that's a lot. That seems to me like a lot of money. And how he's going to pay for this, how he's paying back these people? Through his super PAC and the contributions people are making because they feel sorry for the fat prick. What are you giving him money for? He's got more money than you and I will ever see in our lifetime. Just once, I'd like to see somebody in a politician that cares about you and me and not how much money they can make off you and me. Big business doesn't give a shit about us. They want us to go back to work. They want us to go back to work so that we have the money to buy the products that are going to cost more money because everything they're doing right now is inflationary. And he still, somehow or another, wants to destroy Social Security, and the Republicans do. And I don't understand that. I really don't. Reagan's the one that set this up. Reagan was the one that found out you can borrow from them. And he took money out, and he's never paid it back, really. And they've been doing that ever since. They've been taking money out. And the Democratic presidents do the same thing. They're all guilty of this. This is like in Reagan's administration, they saw all that money sitting there and said, "Wow, we can do something constructive with this. Screw the people." And Reagan left office being worshipped like a king, and yet he screwed the common man. He screwed you and me. Who's agreeing with me? A guy I can't. Bill Gates said something that I've said for a while now. This disparity, which is the difference between rich and poor in this country, is so great. It's greater than any other country in the history of the world. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure some dictatorships it was worse. But anyhow, it's huge. In any other country, in Europe or Africa or something like that, you'd have a revolution. Your leaders would be out in the street, dead. And with the amount of guns that's coming that are going out the door around here now, that's a genuine possibility. Is anarchy. I worry about shit like this. Maybe I'm stupid, but I worry about shit like that. I don't know what to expect. I'm 74 years old, and I don't really give a shit. I'm not planning on. I don't know how many years I got left. It could be months, it could be years, it could be days. Nobody knows at this point. When you reach this point in your life, you really don't know. I'm not worried about settling up debts or anything like that. Screw them. Come looking for me. But I am concerned about the children. And this may sound really weird, but the animals, the children, those people and things on this planet that have absolutely nothing to say about what we're doing, and are they going to have a place to live, when they're my age? Are they going to be even living anywhere close to the way I'm living when they're my age? Are they going to be hiding in the trees again? Are we going to regress back to that point where, we kill each other just for whatever, a stick? I'm no genius, and I don't walk around and say I'm a genius. But I think people that do that aren't geniuses. They want to be a genius. What we're going to do, I have no idea. I wish I could sit here and pontificate on what we should do, and all I have is opinions, and a little bit of knowledge about what's going on, and I have a memory that I remember the fact that the payroll taxes is going to come due in January. I don't know how many people walking the streets of New York or San Francisco or any other city in the United States realize that, and realize that it has to be paid back. And the way they were saying that they were going to do it is make the individuals pay it back with higher payroll taxes in the first half of the year. You can't do that now because nobody's got any money. I think this distribution of money from these bills, these stimulus checks and whatnot, are going in the wrong direction. It's one of the problems I had with welfare back in the day. Yes, there are people out there that need it, but there's not enough control over how they get it. There's not enough control over the administrators of those programs. There's a lot of corruption involved in there. And I saw it, I know it, I'll give you an example of the corruption. I used to work for the phone company down in Orange, New Jersey, and across the street from me, from my little building that I was in, was a project. I guess you would call it a project. And during the week, whatever, you would see the guy outside polishing his brand new car. And I'm serious, they'd be polishing a brand new car. The woman would be sitting with her 4 or 5 kids, whatever, on the stoop, and nobody would be. They'd have nice clothes and everything. And then all of a sudden, one day, you'd see the cars are gone. All the new cars are off the street. The kids are sitting on the porch in old clothes. What was going on? Well, the social worker or welfare worker was coming around to check on them. That was normal back then, people saw that all the time, and that's why people get upset with welfare. But I think I'm missing the point here, is that one of the things that about charity or assistance, if you would, rather than use the word, so people don't like the word charity, but let's say help, is that it's not administered properly. Those that really need it sometimes don't get it. I don't need it. I'm being quite honest with you. I don't need it. I managed it. I got it late. I didn't expect to get it at all. I got it late last year. I got it late when it came, and it wasn't last year, but I got it about a month after everybody else was supposedly done with, and everything. It showed up in my checking account and went into my savings account, and it still sits there. I don't need it. People that are desperate for it aren't getting it, and people like me don't need it. There's an inequity in that distribution system. It's sort of like the inequity in wealth. The guy that owns the Pittsburgh Penguins bought Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. Well, Pittsburgh Penguins have an arena that can be classified as a live music venue, even though that it's the arena that they play in, I believe, gets money from basketball and other sports and track events and everything like that. And that music is like a once a year or twice a year thing. And I don't know why everybody's yelling and screaming about live music's coming back. If they're doing it at a local bar, yes, great, because I always enjoy that, and you get to see who's playing. And sometimes you even get to talk to them. But I'll be damned if I'll be paying close to $500 or $600 to see the Rolling Stones from row 80 in the upper deck, where you need binoculars just to find the stage. Never mind the guys that are singing and whatnot. And the odds are, and half the time they don't sing live; it's lip syncing. I don't understand a lot of what's going on, but I would realize one thing that's necessary in the government is to somehow better manage the relief that they're giving to people, making sure that it's actually getting to those who deserve it, and not some corrupt politician sitting on his ass or some wealthy sports owner or something like that. Oh, listen, once again it's Sunday, and I'm going to watch a bunch of really overpaid guys go play a game called football. I'll talk to you during the week. Ciao.